When India gained its freedom on August 15, 1947, it was a moment of great hope. But, the new nation faced many difficult problems. One of the biggest was education. The British had left a system of higher learning, but honestly, it was quite small. It was designed to create clerks and administrators for the colonial government, not to build a modern, self-sufficient country. There were only about 20 universities and 500 colleges for a population of over 340 million people. The system was limited, elitist, and not really focused on the scientific and technical skills that a new industrializing nation would desperately need to progress and stand on its own feet in the world. The leaders of independent India understood this challenge very well. Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister, saw universities and scientific institutions as essential. He famously called them the temples of modern India. He believed that for India to overcome poverty and social backwardness, it needed a strong base of knowledge. The government had to build an education system for all Indians, not just a select few. The goal was to create a new generation of scientists, engineers, doctors, and thinkers. These individuals would be the architects of a new India, one that was democratic, modern, and scientifically advanced. The first step was to create a framework for this new vision. In 1948, the government appointed the University Education Commission. This commission was led by the distinguished philosopher and statesman, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Its job was to study the state of university education and suggest how to improve it. The commission's report, submitted in 1949, was a very important document. It recommended that higher education should promote the goals of a democratic India. It also suggested creating a central body to manage and fund universities, which later led to the establishment of the University Grants Commission, or UGC, in 1956. This early period was all about laying the groundwork for future growth. The government took the Radhakrishnan Commission's advice seriously. The UGC was given the power to set standards for teaching and research in universities across the country. It provided grants and funding to help existing universities expand and to help new ones get started. This was a clear signal that the state would play a central role in shaping higher education. It was a departure from the colonial past, where education was not a priority for the rulers. The new Indian government was making a promise to its people: education would be a key to a better future for everyone. The Indian government knew that general university education was not enough. To compete in the modern world, India needed world-class institutions for technical and management education. This led to one of the most significant policy decisions in the history of Indian education, the creation of the Indian Institutes of Technology, or IITs. The idea was to build elite engineering and technology schools that could rival the best in the world. The first IIT was established in Kharagpur in 1951, on the site of a former detention camp. This was a powerful symbol of how the new India was turning a place of colonial oppression into a center of modern learning and progress. Following the success of IIT Kharagpur, more IITs were established in major cities. IIT Bombay was set up in 1958, followed by IIT Madras and IIT Kanpur in 1959, and IIT Delhi in 1961. These institutions received help from foreign countries like the USSR, the USA, West Germany, and the UK, which provided technical expertise and financial aid. The IITs quickly became famous for their difficult entrance examinations and their high-quality education. They attracted the brightest students from all over the country. The goal was to produce top-tier engineers who could lead India's industrial development, from building dams and factories to advancing its technological capabilities. While the IITs focused on technology, the government also saw the need for skilled managers to run the country's growing public and private sectors. This led to the creation of the Indian Institutes of Management, or IIMs. The first two IIMs were set up in Calcutta, now Kolkata, in 1961, and Ahmedabad in 1961. These institutes were established in collaboration with prestigious American institutions like the Sloan School of Management and Harvard Business School. The IEMs introduced modern management education to India, training leaders who could make industries more efficient and competitive on a global scale, thereby strengthening the nation's economic foundations. The establishment of the IITs and IOMs was part of a larger plan. The government also invested in specialized research institutes. The Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, or CSIR, expanded its network of laboratories across the country. The Atomic Energy Commission, under the leadership of Dr. Homi J. Bhabha, pushed forward research in nuclear science. These institutions were created to ensure that India would not have to depend on other countries for scientific knowledge or technology. Together, the IITs, IIMs, and various research labs formed the backbone of India's quest for self-reliance and its ambition to become a major player in the world of science and technology. The investment in higher education began to show results. Indian scientists and engineers made significant contributions both at home and abroad. Universities and institutes produced brilliant minds who led major national projects. The Green Revolution in the 1960s, which saved India from famine, was supported by research from agricultural universities. India's space program, led by the Indian Space Research Organization, or ISRO, achieved incredible success, from launching its first satellite, Aryabhata, in 1975 to the more recent Mars Orbiter mission. These achievements were made possible by graduates from India's new universities and technical institutes, proving that Nehru's vision was bearing fruit. Indian academics also gained international recognition. Scientists like C.N.R. Rao in solid-state chemistry and the mathematician S.R. Srinivasa Varadan made groundbreaking contributions in their fields. Graduates from the IITs and IUMs became leaders of major global corporations, demonstrating the high quality of education they had received. In fields like computer science and information technology, Indian professionals became known for their skill and expertise. The success of Silicon Valley in the United States, for example, owes a great deal to the contributions of engineers who were educated in India. These success stories brought pride to the nation and showcased its intellectual capital to the world. However, the journey was not without its problems. One of the biggest challenges was the brain drain. Many of the brightest graduates from the IITs and other top institutions left India to seek better opportunities and higher salaries in Western countries, particularly the United States. While they achieved great personal success, their home country lost their valuable skills. This was a major dilemma for a developing nation that had invested so much in their education. The government and society debated how to stop this outflow of talent, a problem that continues to be a topic of discussion even today, showing the complexity of the issue. Another persistent challenge has been funding and access. While the elite institutions received good support, many state universities and colleges struggled with limited resources. They often lacked proper infrastructure, qualified faculty, and modern equipment. This created a huge gap in quality between the top institutes and the rest of the system. Furthermore, getting into a good university remained very difficult for many Indians, especially those from rural areas and poor families. The high level of competition and the cost of education meant that higher learning was not accessible to everyone. The challenge was to expand the system and improve its quality without leaving anyone behind. As India moves forward in the 21st century, the role of higher education is more important than ever. The country has one of the youngest populations in the world. This demographic dividend can be a great advantage, but only if young people are well educated and skilled. Higher education is the key to turning this potential into reality. It is essential for driving innovation, creating a skilled workforce for new industries, and solving complex societal problems like climate change, public health, and sustainable development. The future of India's economy and its place in the world will depend heavily on the strength of its universities and colleges. To meet the demands of the future, the Indian higher education system needs to continue to evolve. The government has introduced policies like the National Education Policy 2020, which aims to make education more flexible, multidisciplinary, and accessible. The goal is to encourage critical thinking and creativity instead of rote learning. The policy also aims to increase the gross enrollment ratio in higher education and bring more international students and faculty to India. This is a move to make Indian universities more globally competitive and to stop the brain drain by creating world-class opportunities within the country itself. Furthermore, there is a growing focus on research and development. For India to become a true knowledge economy, it must move from being a user of technology to a creator of technology. This requires greater investment in research at universities, stronger links between academia and industry, and a culture that encourages scientific inquiry and entrepreneurship. Institutes of higher learning must become hubs of innovation, where new ideas are born and developed into products and services that can benefit society. The success of this endeavor will determine whether India can truly achieve its goal of becoming a developed nation. In conclusion, the story of higher education in India since 1947 is a story of great ambition and remarkable progress, marked by significant challenges. From a small colonial system, it has grown into one of the largest and most diverse education systems in the world. The temples of modern India, envisioned by its founding fathers, have produced generations of leaders, scientists, and innovators. The path ahead requires a continued commitment to quality, equity, and innovation. By strengthening its institutions of higher learning, India can empower its youth, drive its economy, and secure its future as a proud and influential nation on the world stage.